Alright, gonna do a second video for BB8. Got an email that we're having trouble with the coefficient being in the front. So we're gonna look at 3 questions over those types of problems. So like I said again, it's BB8 for the algebra class. Alright, so starting off with the first one. First one is the easiest one. We're gonna look at pulling. Since there's not an A, a B, and a C here, just like down here, A, B, and C, A, B, C, and we don't have that back number. So we have, like here, we have a variable, and then we have the back number. That's our C. We don't have that here. And so all we're going to do on this one is figure out what they both have in common. Go ahead and pull that out already. So they only have an S, and then what's left over. So you pulled an S out of here, gives you 42S plus, pulled an S out of here, gives you 29. Okay, now we're going to set what's outside equal to 0, and then what's inside equal to 0. So outside S equals 0, so that one's already done. And then over here we have 42S plus 29 equals 0. And then we solve from there. So subtract your 29 from both sides. 42S equals negative 29 divided by 42, and then divide that by 42. It gives you S is equal to negative 29 over 42. Okay, so that would be your answer. You'd have 0, comma, negative 29 over 42. That's how you put it in the IXL. All right. Now, looking at the one you're probably wondering about, we got 2 questions here. We're going to solve this one. If you want to, you can pause. After we solve this one, you kind of get an idea to solve this one. See if you can match my answer. All right, so looking here, it's not the exact same as this one up here. Since we have a C, what we're going to do is something we did, I believe it was AA 5 or 6, something like that, in a previous lesson. We're going to be multiplying A times C to figure out what we can help to get B, or what helped to get B. So what's A times C? So you get 3 times negative 13. Okay, so you get 39. So you do factors of 39. What would make up a negative 38? Well, since it's only one number, quote unquote, below, you would do, okay, 39. So this breaks down into 39 and 1. Okay, but you know what works with that? So how do you turn a 39 into a negative 38? Well, if you had a negative 39 and added that to a positive 1, that would give you negative 38. So all I did was break this down into a positive 1, and then don't forget your M, and then negative 39, don't forget your M. If I took those 2 numbers and combined them back, it would give me negative 38. So the way we found it is 3 times 13. Okay, it gives us 39. So if you really wanted to do it, you could do all the factors of 39. So 1 and 39, which is what we used. And then obviously there's no even numbers that go into it since it's odd. So 3 and 3 and 13. 3 times 13 gives you 39. And then looking, no evens, no 5s, no 7s. And so the only other number that could go into it would be 9, since it's a multiple of 3, and it does not. So, looking at, back over here, that's the reason, sorry, that's the reason we used 1 and 39. 3 and 13, if you put this as negative, this is positive, it would give you negative 10. If you made this one negative, this one positive, give you negative 10, that wouldn't work. But negative 39 and a positive 1 gives you negative 38. So that's where you find that. And that's probably where most of us were getting confused. So hopefully this helps. All right, then you just finish out your problem. And like we did in a previous lesson, we're going to take this and factor it, and then we're going to take this and factor it. Okay, we're going to factor both of these. So what pulls out of this right here? Well, the only thing that does is an M. Leaves you with 3M left plus 1. And then pulling out from a 39 to 13, 13 goes into both. But since they both have a negative, we can pull that out too. And leaves you with 13 goes into 39 3 times, M and then 13 and 13 makes, obviously, 1. And the only way you know if you get it right is if the inside of this parentheses matches the inside of that parentheses. And then you do m minus 13 equals 0, and then you do what's inside the parentheses, 3m plus 1 equals 0. All right, and then you just solve getting m by itself. So move 13 over there, gives you m equals 13. And then move the 1 over here, gives you negative 1. So 3m equals negative 1, divide by 3, divide by 3. So m is going to equal negative 1/3. So your answer should be negative 1/3, comma, 13. It doesn't matter what order you put them in. Okay? All right, now, if you want to try this question, you can go ahead and pause it, give it a shot, and then come back to it. So we're going to go ahead and solve. So same thing. You're figuring out b by multiplying a times c. A times c, so you're doing 6 times 8. So what is 6 times 8? Hopefully you said 48. All right, now other factors that go into it. 2, obviously. 3 will go into it. 4. We got a lot of factors. Okay. Now, instead of listing all the factors, I'm going to take the shortcut and just tell you 1 in 48 because that is a 47. Okay. It's just a hint. If you ever have this times this and it gives you a number and then that's one number around it, either above or below it, pretty good indication it's just going to be 1 in that number. So we're going to use 1 in 48. All the other factors, didn't list them all. I'm just trying to save a little time on the video. So, doing the 2 factors. So what does that break down into? This is going to break down into a 1 and a 48. And since it's a negative 47, that's why I'm putting that there. And it's a v, not a m. Alright, and then just bring down your 6v squared, and then bring down your negative 8. Alright, factor that part, and let's see. So we pull out of this one, we only have a v, so a v, we have 6v left over minus 1, and then we have, right here we have a 48 and an 8. Oops, sorry, it's a plus 1, my mistake. We got a 48 and 8. What goes out of both? Well, hopefully you said negative 8, just like we had earlier. We want to pull a negative out of both. Same thing here. We want to pull a negative out of both. And then 6v plus 1. Okay? So your inside should look the same. They do. 6v plus 1, 6v plus 1. Now we combine what's on the outside. V minus 8 equals 0. And then inside 6v plus 1 equals 0. Alright, now moving our 8 over makes it positive. So we get v equals 8. And then moving the 1 over here makes it negative. Gives you 6v minus 1 divided by 6 divided by 6. And then you get v is either 8 or negative 1/6.